very coffee-like.
It does.
So don't that look like coffee? No, you wouldn't
coffee.
even.
Till you start leaning.
There it is. Well, it's a JC sandwich.
I know, right?
Up.
It start leaning.
Mm-hmm.
We'll hold you up.
He got that Crown Royal lean.
Word.
She got that. That watermelon Rita lean.
That water.
That watermelon.
Is that what you
margarita
having?
out of can.
Is that what
lean.
you having?
Watermelon Rita.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. So something a little light.
I heard that.
Something little like y'all kill me. 8% alcohol, a whole 24 ounce.
Well, this shit is this is 40%. So compared to this, I'm sure your shit is too.
This
But
Kool-Aid.
that thing's sweet, boy. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey.
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 Yeah, that's how we gonna do it. We gonna come in nice and smooth.
I know. Did you not feel like a So Def song just then? For just a brief moment.
Well, if we gonna do it, at least we can be in harmony doing it. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Hey.
That's how you intro the show. That's how
I
you come
like
in.
that. I like that. Thank you so much, Brother JC.
No doubt, no doubt.
To our viewers and listeners, welcome. This is the DEUXLUXE podcast show. I am half of the hosting team, Katie Lux, and my girl on the other end of the table,
Lux Lisbon.
We in the house.
Blam.
Tonight we have a very special guest. Very special. JC Cowan, also known as JC the Poet, is with us tonight.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here with y'all tonight.
Thank you for having us.
No,
Yeah.
y'all having me, but that's what it's all about.
True that.
I appreciate y'all for having me slide
Well, we
up in y'all
appreciate you
spot.
showing. We appreciate you showing up. And another thing, I want to just go ahead and just put that on out there. That not only are you our official designated, by us Afrocentrics of the Poet Laureate of Charlotte, you are also a barber by day,
Most definitely.
cultural curator by night. You take this scene, this night scene, this poetry scene to the next level, and we do appreciate you. Been doing that for how long now?
About 19 years
Okay,
now.
then.
About
All right.
19 years up in this joint. But yes. Well, I appreciate y'all having me on the show. It's you don't expect to be recognized for those things. I like doing what I do. So it's been a pleasure to be in Charlotte and come to Charlotte and to be able to kind of spearhead that movement and to be able to see where it's went from where we started to where it's at now. So like I said, I'm just a little cat on the block now. Them cats is doing it big out here, and I love to go see them and support them. So that's what it's all about. So I appreciate y'all having me here. Like y'all gonna be big out here. Come on.
Well, I accept and receive.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt.
But it starts with connecting
Most
with
definitely.
individuals such as yourself and raising awareness. Because, like for me, we actually had an opportunity to go and check JC out on Thursday, and I hadn't been to Sydney's in ages.
Yeah.
And so that was super dope to go and see you in your element,
Word.
hear you drop a few bars, have a little something to sip
Right,
on,
exactly,
and really dig the vibe. I really enjoyed that.
Word. Well, it's been fun coming back, man. I didn't really see myself coming back. I was like, I ain't doing no more weekly stuff. I ain't getting into that, man. I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm enjoying just doing my little shows and doing my performances when people book me, which is lovely just to show up and do your thing and not have to be controlling nothing else. But this poetry scene here in Charlotte was lacking. And my boys came at me, Blues and Jay Ward and a lot of other poets that are on the scene were really like the scene's lacking. We got too much erotic and we got too much show for fun show, but not enough substance. So I'm just back trying to bring this substance back to spoken word so people can understand that it ain't about the party all the time or it ain't about the sex all the time, but it's actually about substance where people can actually connect with you with something that's going to take them somewhere and not just continue to lead them in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying?
Well, speaking of being taken somewhere, our topic tonight is,
Pushing through when ain't nobody pushing you.
and so that kind of commingles with that.
I like the way she just pushed you through.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's
I
what
like
we,
you see what
that's
I'm
what we
saying?
do.
You see how
That's-
that just worked right
but
there,
that-
just
but you
at
see,
the very moment.
But see, we are a
No.
We are a dyad. We like one of them cells that split. You know what I'm saying? What do they call it? I don't know.
A split sale?
No, the division of the cell, y'all.
Oh, the
When I had it,
division of the cell.
when I had that recall though, when I had that recall, y'all socks gonna be blown off.
Division of the,
But,
division of the sale. I
I'm gonna
remember
blow your
that.
socks off. But of course, and and really we have all three of us can speak to that kind of pushing through when ain't nobody pushing you.
Yes.
To do this show is just something that was a passion of both of ours, Katie Lux and myself, Lux Lisbon, because we felt like we were having very interesting conversations, but we were like, shit, somebody need to hear this. And why not, partner with Square Media Network, who gave us this opportunity.
Network,
Steve
shout
Rutherford. Shout out, gave us this opportunity to do this second and fourth Mondays of the month. Yes. Additionally, we also have our showmate, LaWanda Mayfield, who comes on the second and fourth Wednesdays with Unapologetically Black, and the project with Steve Rutherford is also a show, but that goes down whenever. So be there or be square.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I have to say that is the epitome of pushing through when no one is pushing for you.
Yeah.
I had a chance to chop it up with Steve a little bit before we went on air, and he talked about just his journey from the end of last year, striking out and taking risks and making things happen, even when he wasn't necessarily sure how to bring it to fruition, just taking one step at a time. And so,
yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, Steve been a lame ever since I've known him, like one of the lamest dudes I've ever known in my life. But, I'm just playing, man. So, Steve always been thorough in what he does, and like I said, whenever dealing with him, it's always been professional. He's always been able to take me to another level, no matter where my brain was, no matter how I was thinking about who I was or what's going on in my life. Steve was always able, somebody that could come in and let you understand that, hey, listen, I'm not out here doing this for the gain of me, but you take what I do and you do something for yourself with it. Let me give you something to work with. Let me give you something to work with. And that's just the type of brother he's always been. He's always been out to help somebody, always going to make you step your game up, always going to help you take it to the next level. So that's why I can appreciate
you
brother
better
Steve.
preach on
better
Easter
know.
Monday.
I felt
You
that.
better
I felt
know.
that church
That's
hand.
Rutherford,
I
baby.
felt,
That's
I felt
Monday.
that church hand.
Because without him, we wouldn't be here.
True
so,
that.
I mean,
No
he's
doubt.
given us a voice and a platform.
Yeah,
So-
he been giving like that. Like, dang, he been giving 2004 with me. I think I met him in 2003, and we did something in 2004. And to see him still doing the exact same thing, helping people along in 2019, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. It's very organic. We like to flow. But I would be interested in hearing you just kind of talk about your journey, and because the scene in Charlotte is just now, it feels new, even though there's been that underlying
Right.
subculture.
Right.
And it's not burgeoning. It's just
Right.
people are just now getting on to it.
Right.
So what
right.
has that been like for you building?
Well, it's been like how you, it's almost like a full circle, kind of like a full circle, but it hasn't connected yet. But to be able to see the young people who came through me, who actually asked questions and I know stuck around and kind of like my little proteges out here on the poetry scene, and then to see them now doing something with their lives, doing poetry or entertaining or whatever, just to see them in their space. And I'm thankful for that, because I remember myself always saying at my shows, like, yo, fuck that job. I mean, we figuring out what the hell you can do
Right.
to make your money for yourself.
Right.
So you're not making somebody else rich, but you're actually doing the best you can for you and not the best you can for somebody else. And to see people take that step out and know that they was like, and they come to me later, like I said, it's been really fulfilling in the last 2 years, because I've been off the scene. So I would kind of step on the scene, when I was in town, or when I, we didn't have something going on. I step on the scene to check out the young folks, see how they doing, and they respect when I come in the building. And to hear them say the Godfather of Poetry in the building, man, blah, blah, blah. I get on the mic and do my thing, and the love is in the building. So to know that these guys have taken something, they took some part of me. It ain't everything, but they took a part of what I was doing, and they're extending it. And it's the most important part, is extending the love, showing respect, and continuing to do what we do, continue to push on when ain't nobody else pushing. Still got to push on, baby.
That's
Well,
right.
what I want to do is I want to find out. Let's go back. Let's go way back.
Oh,
for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. Let me
Let's
take
go
a sip of this coffee.
Let's go way back, because I know like you're kind of royalty. You are emeritus. You are in there. But what I want to know is when you hit this scene and just started like your grassroots movement to do poetry, I want to know what that looked like, because I know that must have been the most difficult time to kind of push through.
Well, that
When
was-
nobody was pushing you, because you ain't from here either.
Yeah, I wasn't from
But-
here.
but go ahead.
I kind of just fell on the scene, and like when I got to Charlotte, I had a cousin here who actually put me. The first time he brought me to Charlotte, because I was out of Charlotte, I was living in Shelby, working at this. I was a supervisor over a section of her Celanese plant, And my cousin came up and got me and was like, oh, you close to Charlotte. I'll come scoop you up. So I'm going to show you Charlotte. So he came and got me. And I went to Charlotte and he took me to No Grease Barbershop, which was then located on Sharon Amity. And it was just, it used to be
Central.
the bank. The one they just bought.
You went
the one they
way
just
back.
bought. The one they just bought the building that they originally rented.
Yes.
They just bought it. So I went there for a poetry night and I was like, it blew me away. When I say, you know how you go to something and it really touches you. Like, I'm about to do some shit. I'm about to do some shit because they ain't doing it like that. They just did this once. So I started coming to Charlotte, kind of peeping out the poetry scene and see, and I started writing a little bit more because I've always been a poet, rapper, and all that. But I decided when I was gonna move here, and when my cousin came, and it literally was like, man, pack up this fucking truck, bro. We about to roll.
Wow.
And I was like, what? He's like, I got a truck outside. We're moving to Charlotte. And it was on. And Charlotte has always been where I wanted to be because it was between my mom and my grandparents. My parents were in Columbia, my grandparents were in Fayetteville. So it was like the perfect meeting, the middle spot. But the poetry scene here, the only thing I had a problem with is that it was not consistent. It'd be here today, and then the next week it's not open no more, or they just decided not to do poetry no more, and you'd be there for a month, and then it's not there anymore. And so that's what started to bother me, and that's what started to kind of really take me to another level to say, look, man, you got to start something here. And I want to be a barber as well, so I was like, why not go to barber school, do my poetry? It's both self-employed. I ain't really got to worry about nobody breathing down my neck, tell me what I got to do. So it was perfect. So I just kind of and I wasn't driving at the time, so I was catching the bus. So at that moment in my life, it slowed me down. Getting that DWI back in '98 slowed me all the way down. It put the brakes on everything because it let me start to see and not just be moving all the time. I was always moving, so you moving and shaking it shake you up, but able to slow down for a minute and see what I needed to be doing, and that's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for all the hard times and all the rough things that happened to me that kept knocking me back into my position, where I needed to be. And so from there, starting poetry and just practicing with the young, I write poems and do it with the barbers in there. The cats were in school, but it was crazy because I had the class that was like, okay, I had the hustlers in my class. I had a full class of hustlers, and they were here in Charlotte. And I was new to Charlotte. Like I said, I didn't have no license. I lost my license, and I had a Benz, so I was kind of running with them, but I couldn't drive it, so it didn't matter. So I'm just chilling, like, okay, and I'm writing poetry, and they're like, yo, I'm digging that, and I'm like, what? They're like, yo, so they start coming to my stuff and spending money to my open mics. And my very first open mic was at the Vault.
Word.
It was the Vault back then, and I'll never forget. I walked in there, and it was a guy on the mic. My brother King, his name is Trues. You remember Big Trues? Big Trues, if you out there, you ever see this show, man, shout out to you, the king of Charlotte, the original king of Charlotte nightlife.
Oh, shit.
But I remember that cat, and I took something from his spot. That night, I did my poem, and it was a karaoke or open mic or whatever. But I did my poem, and people was talking, and he stopped me from doing my poem, and he said, "Yo, this man's up here giving y'all his heart. He giving y'all a piece of his soul, and y'all got the nerve to be talking while he doing this thing. Respect this microphone." And that right there for that moment, from then on, I was like, I'm gonna be like, respect this microphone.
Yeah.
Bottom line. So shout out to Big Trues, man. He was the one that really kind of taught me the hosting game. I kind of watched him for a while, and so I kind of started moving forward and doing things like that. And it went into the Liquid Lounge, then it went into getting the Spoken Word Wednesdays on Power 98, back when with the Breakfast Brothers, and everything was just moving forward. And so, as Steve knows, in 2004 or 2003, when he came along, Steve came in to do a documentary on us and pretty much followed me around. And I had like 4 or 5 spots going on. It was about 20-30 people there, but we was building poetry. We was building the movement for people to enjoy it. And I had poets who were amazing, who decided to stay. I had C.P. Mays was one of the people that stayed in Charlotte for me. Blues, Quentin Talley, who we call Q. You had BG, you got Fillmore. I mean, you had a host of other poets who are out here now who were just that core for me. And it's funny because I was just looking back at a picture from the radio that we really was kicking, and that they put up of us, and it was just us, those core.
My spidey sense is
Now,
tingling. I feel
wait
like
a
she got a
minute,
question.
JC.
I feel like she got a question.
Do it.
'Cause you just mentioned Quentin Talley. He does poetry.
Quentin Talley.
Amongst other things.
Amongst the billion things that
Yes.
he does, poetry is how Quentin Talley came into Charlotte. He was graduating from his he graduated from college, and he was a drama major.
Yes.
And so we brought him into Charlotte, and Q was like, he had been ready to come here forever, and we was like, come on, man, we got it open. Johnson Mills is where it all went down. That was the birthplace of poetry in Charlotte. Our apartment in Johnson Mills was where we all hung, wrote, kicked it. We're going to have to bring that documentary back one day with my man Steve Rutherford. I'm telling y'all. Because it really, really tells you the story of spoken word in Charlotte and how we just became a unit and decided that, people respect you more when they see you together.
Absolutely.
Than they do when they just see you out here by yourself. And that's in anything. When you got a group of core people,
Safety in numbers.
people want to know what you got going on. They really want to know.
But you know what? I think, I know this story was a bit incomplete because Katie Lux, I heard you ask them questions about Quentin Talley. And I believe he would be somebody who you working with currently. You see how the universe be working?
It's a small, it's a very small microcosm.
Yes.
Hey, Quentin Talley is one of the most talented people you will ever
I know.
meet. That boy. And if you're dealing with him in any kind of way, you're in good shape because he can lead you. And but the good thing about it is he's one of the realest people.
Yes.
Yeah.
The realest people in the city. And that's one thing that the poets did. We prided ourselves on. We were all ourselves. And to be able to look back 19 years later, or 15 for Q, but the fact that we can actually see each other and know that we're still the same people.
Yes.
Blues has got Emmys, Q's been on Broadway, they've been overseas. We've done so much, but to know that we're still out here in the struggle, ain't nobody rich, ain't nobody got it like that. Everybody's out here still grinding and doing what they love.
But what about that? Because it's the dollars that push you
Oh, yeah.
sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And since you ain't got them greenbacks, I know you got a greenback because your shirt is green. But what's up with that? When you ain't got them greenbacks and it's just in you, inherently in you, it's your passion to do this. It's okay to have a dream, but dreams ain't gonna keep the lights on.
No.
No. Dreams ain't gonna keep the lights
Dreams
on.
gonna
Little
keep the
brother
lights
said
on.
it best.
Hello. You better give me some.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So
Hey,
I
put mine
want to
in the
know.
middle.
You
Y'all
know.
go. Exactly.
So what I want to know is when you were having maybe some technical difficulties with the finances. How did you keep pushing?
Well,
keep on pushing through.
honestly, and I got to be honest with y'all, and I never put this out there, so this is exclusive.
Exclusive.
This is real. This is some of the realest shit you ever heard. Some of the realest shit you ever heard.
You stupid, man.
But everybody knows. I think it was back in 2010. I attempted to purchase Windup, and
Okay.
I took everything I had with one investor, and we put it in. And I got totally screwed over, even with the paperwork. But, I was able to sue. But then, of course, they dissolved the company. After they paid a few payments, they dissolved the company. You know how it go. But that was my moment because I didn't tell nobody. I didn't tell nobody my ass was broke. I didn't tell nobody I was getting. I was like, I got to start all over. Like, I ain't got nothing. Oh, shit. That was a moment for me because thank God I had a job.
Yeah.
I was a barber, so I'm gonna get me some money. But the point was I knew I was back at zero. And I didn't want to tell nobody because number one, I didn't want people raising money for me. I didn't want people feeling sorry for me. When you put people in another perspective of you, they put your ass there. And that's where you're gonna be broke. Ain't nothing gonna work for you. And the one thing I worried about was what people would be thinking for me. How they would be feeling for me. And everybody don't love you like you think they love you. Just because they hug your ass every time they see your ass. Don't mean they love your ass. That just means they happy to see you because you probably make them a little bit happier every time they see your ass.
Man,
I ain't gonna get in all that.
Okay.
JC, don't stop preaching up here, but you know what I'm saying.
He has risen.
But that original low really showed me that I had to grab myself.
Yes.
I ain't had no fucking choice because number one, what I ain't gonna do is go out. I ain't going out, and ain't nobody gonna see me struggle because I was always taught like, if you a man and you handling your business, ain't nobody gotta hear about your struggles. Ain't nobody gotta know about your struggles. Ain't nobody want to hear your shit. Handle your shit. Get back on your feet and keep it moving. And my dad used to say that to me all the time. Boy, just handle your shit. Handle your business and do your thing. Do what you're supposed to do. And that's all I could do is keep telling my things that I heard from my ancestors, from my grandfather. Telling me, look, son, as long as you got a job and a door you can close, where you can lay down and then you ain't got to worry about nobody interrupting you, then you're going to be all right.
Message.
You ain't got to have no huge house. You ain't got to have all that around you. You just need a door that you can close, son, and have a job that you know you can make some money or a gift that you can use. And I've always kept those things. So really pushing through when it's just you is really about reflecting back on who taught you something, who showed you something.
Right.
And for the people who don't have anybody who's ever told them anything or ever taught them anything, then that's when you really, you lean heavy on God. You go heavy on God then, because that is your salvation. That is the next thing. And whatever your belief is, God, universe, Allah, whatever, you got to lean on something, because there ain't no such thing as alone, because alone will have your ass alone. And when you think you pushing through, but your ass is still alone. And then you got to have some other type of entity to push you, because we got to understand when we get that low, it's hard to push yourself, because you're self down here, you low. And that's how so many people fall under. But if you got to have one person that told you something right. One person in your life has told you something right.
So what you're saying is that you got to have a little feed, a
Gotta
little
have
fodder. You got to stop
something.
at these rest stops every now and again to get you to your destination. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying.
I feel you. I'm picking
saying.
up what you're putting down.
Because it
brother.
really is. It really is about them rest stops, and it really is about them things that you just didn't know would happen, and those words that you didn't know what you would get. And I always got that. And to have, I can honestly say I've been blessed. God has, no matter how wrong or how crazy my butt been, he's always been blessing me, and he's always never taken me below what he knows I know I am. He's always shown me that I can have more, but it's totally up to me. I know I'm not living to my full potential. I'm positive I'm not at my full potential. If I was at my full potential, I wouldn't want to do anything else.
Well, Katie Lux talks about that all the time, just kind of tapping into your potential. Katie Lux, if y'all, for all y'all out in viewer land who does not know, she's a very existential woman.
Spell it.
You know what I'm saying? EXISTENTIAL.
Yes, sir.
Did I just drop them nuggets,
Hey,
though?
bam. Okay.
Hello? Okay, cool.
Somebody out there knew how to spell it too and was right there with you. Like,
All right.
Sounding it out.
Right, right.
they like,
Because I was nervous
You
for a
go,
minute. I was
girl.
like, I'm probably going
You
to see
go,
the playback on this shit, and I'll be like, God damn, that was wrong. I hope ain't nobody catch that shit, though.
I caught the
I hope ain't
nervous
nobody catch
voice.
that shit, though.
I saw the shake around L or something. One of them letters, I saw the shake. I said, uh-oh.
But
Hold on to it.
But appreciate you, bro. But for real though, like as far as just tapping into, not we talking about pushing through when ain't nobody pushing you, but Katie Lux, I know, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity to just, kind of just drop some nuggets on these people so they understand that it ain't all about, just an education. It ain't all about a dream. Sometimes you gotta tap into the esoteric. Sometimes you got to tap into the occult, the mysticism, And I know that you are a staunch proponent when it comes to, just like mysticism, jewels, energies. I know you be taking your spiritual baths and drinking your golden milk. So if y'all ain't on it, holla at a sister when you see her in the street about a spiritual bath and some golden milk. But I'm serious, yo. But yo,
I'm about to ask right now.
But listen, but yo, for real though. But when I tell you that thing been working, because she just have you kind of change the station, or fine tune the station. You know how you get like maybe 103.3, but that shit a little staticky. She had you turn that little knob a
Just
little
a little
bit,
bit.
or hold that antenna up, in a certain area, sit something next
You done
to
lost
it.
some people. You
You
done
know
lost
what I'm
some
saying?
people. They're
Okay,
like,
you know what?
antenna? I'm sorry.
Okay, my bad. To all the millennials out there, when you got your Apple Music
There you
and
go.
that shit coming in crispy and so deaf and crystal clear, you can credit that to somebody like Katie Lux, who absolutely does that when it comes to food for your soul.
Oh, okay.
So, as far as that is concerned, I did want to just talk about like some things that we can use as our kickstand. What helps you get through, push through when ain't nobody pushing you? And I know that's one of them, and I just wanted to hear more about that.
Well, as I was listening to JC relate his experience, one of the things that came to mind for me personally was being at that point where you are low in your journey, and you don't want to tell people that I failed or I'm going through this thing that I'm experiencing or I'm low, and then you tend to retreat. And one of the things that I found was I used that time to do introspective reflection, and I'm very spiritual, not necessarily religious, and so in addition to just drawing closer to God, one of the things I realized was that he had instilled jewels within me
Most definitely.
that I hadn't even discovered. And it wasn't until I had all of the distractions stripped away and didn't have anything to focus on that I was able to tap into where my true creativity lies. And just like you said, you haven't reached your full potential. Very few of us do.
Right. Exactly.
But the thing is, we're all capable of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Most
times
definitely.
you have stuff in you that you don't even know. It's so, prime example. Over 2 years ago, someone that I know told me, you need to use your voice. And I was like, I don't even know what that means. I use it every day. I talk a lot. My voice gets used. My husband would agree. He was trying to smother me at night because I snore even. So even when I'm unconscious, my voice gets used, okay?
Freddie, like, sometimes I talk like her because she talked to me so much.
You
I
know.
sounded like her.
Oh, no. His famous thing, too many words. I've used up my word quota for the day.
Can I buy a vowel?
Hey, I be like, word break.
He done used up his word
Conversation
quota.
break. Gonna need conversation.
And, I ain't got nothing but energy since I'm at home,
Right, true.
But having those nuggets, stuff that
Yeah.
you never even thought. So how ironic, even to have a podcast. Like, it never crossed my mind that this would be a platform in which I would be able to use my voice.
Right.
I mean, it was very prolific. But when I started saying yes to opportunities to do that,
Talk about it.
doors
Talk about
started
it.
opening.
Talk
Exactly.
about
Exactly. That's what
You
people
better-
don't
it.
understand.
Did you pick up a program before you came up in here?
Excuse me,
You know, have a seat.
And the usher.
Have a
Can we
seat
get
in
the
our
usher to
pew
bring us
right
one more
quick.
program, please?
Okay.
Can we get one more program,
Because
please?
I believe she preaching,
I'm
Pastor.
saying, she
Well-
do throw them tunes in there for you, though.
Well, if that's
Yes.
the case, it's time to pass the collection.
Get round on that side and don't ask no questions. Just get the money.
Well, it ain't but 4 of us, and we all working, so that's going to be a bad collection. That ain't going to happen tonight.
Plate gonna be
Oh,
empty.
hold on. Ready?
He said,
Ready, just chilling.
no. He said, according to me, her cup runneth over. Look, y'all got me acting up.
My bad, my
That's
bad, my
what
bad. That
we're
was my
supposed
fault.
to do.
Let's get back to
That's
this
what
show.
we're supposed to
Gee.
do. Because is it just me, or do y'all still have like the ghosts, the spirits of our parents who made it seem like anything that looked like success had to be like associated with these like skeletons, this hard work. The sweat coming from your brow, this graveyard of damn blood, sweat, and tears, and
That's all they knew.
that is all
That's
we
all
knew.
they knew.
That's all they
You
knew.
know?
But we have to understand too, as generations break down, things change.
Yep.
They
and,
do.
And when we're able to identify, because they ain't different with my kids, like they grown, but I have to identify with their generation in order to break it down with them as well. Can keep it raw and can keep it 100, but still, it's a breakdown. And just like you said, like we can remember when our parents did the things they said and the thing they pushed and instilled on us. But can you imagine like who's really getting any of that right now?
Man, listen, old habits die hard sometimes. And, we just, at this point, like, we are not the odd man out. We're liberal artists. We're people who have talents. And one thing I will say about Charlotte is they have a very, alive, cultivated, living, breathing art scene. And having been somebody or coming from the Rust Belt, that's where I come from, where everything was very industrial revolution. You worked at the factory, the plant,
Yep.
the gray iron, the malleable, the steering gear, something, and it was very kind of like Joe versus the volcano.
Yeah.
Almost like my city had this veil of like dimness over it.
Yes.
But there was hope. I found hope in like the arts and books and people and communication, and even coming down here and meeting people like DEUXLUXE and Brother JC, and just, having that aliveness, that living, breathing thing, that organism that, keeps driving us, pushing us forward. And it actually helps us kind of find each other, like we're all feeling for each other in the dark, but it helps us find each other, just like you were saying about the universe and how things are kismet sometimes, and how you're very spiritual, and how that spirituality has provided you this outlet, how that spirituality or your belief in this spirituality has allowed you to, continue to pursue your dreams and say yes to things instead of just saying no. Because that's one thing I heard. I watch a lot of Revolt TV, y'all. If y'all don't know about that, I watch a lot of Revolt TV, and they be dropping them nuggets about, different things, the arts, podcasts, shit like that. But I know that one of the greatest deaths and one of the greatest disservices that we can do to ourselves is to not believe in ourselves.
No doubt.
But
And
so
that's the biggest thing. That is.
So let's talk about it.
That is the problem.
Let's talk about where that came from, y'all, and let's talk about how to quell or squash or put the kibosh on that.
Well, I'll kick it off like this.
What's that?
Until we recognize exactly what's out here, meaning you have to get out here and see what's out here with these kids, with these young adults. I mean, if you ain't talking to none of them, you ain't got a clue how it's happening out here. So I go into the schools. We go into the prisons. We always go into someone less fortunate. And what we got to remember is any one of these people that you talk to will always tell you that somebody that they looked up to, that one person, whoever it was that they looked up to, they ended up just like them. They ended up just like them, but not knowing their whole story.
You right.
And see, that's what kills everything is nobody gets the whole story anymore. Everybody's getting that surface face. And when that surface face is just put out there like that, then everybody's living on the surface and they're not understanding. It gets real deep. It gets way deeper than the surface. And when we get out there and caught up like that, as our youth are now, and a lot of our young adults now, especially when it comes to the being a professional athlete. Can you imagine? We get to see the success stories, but you don't really get to see a lot of the failure stories of the people who worked, thinking they would be a pro because they did everything that they were supposed to do and didn't make it. And that's a breaker. And that's somebody, how can they push through when ain't nobody pushing them? But because once you ain't make it, you know what I'm saying? So honestly, now these kids we have to be the ones to get back in the communities and dip back in there and talk to these kids.
You waxing poetic right now. I felt the poem and everything that you
were
just saying.
I talk poetic, baby. I'm a poet.
You know what I'm saying? You
this
was
is what I do.
waxing poetic just
poetic,
then.
baby. Talk poet. My mama told me, she said, you be talking in poems and rhythms. She be like, I don't want to hear that. I be like, well, I'm just telling you. I'm trying to tell you what I'm trying to say.
Even the musicality in your voice as you're talking about what you're talking about. But it's like you're dropping them. I know, right?
Rhythm,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? I feel very beatnik-like. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I should have on a beret and a black turtleneck.
Okay. Not the black turtleneck.
But it's true. It's true. And I think that one of the things that we have to charge ourselves with is changing the narrative.
Hello.
And understanding that we come from a rich history that is not taught to us.
Talk about it.
Within our pinky finger, we have magnificent power to create and do and be and become. And I think that the arts is that universal tongue that everybody can partake in, be it dance or poetry or music, movement. Anybody can relate to that without even using words.
Right. And I think that now, and I mean, shout out to Lynn Sun sometime for
Lynn
her.
Sun Rising.
Lynn Sun Rising, baby.
Sun Rising.
I got to give her a shout out because, for her to be at 33 years old, to want to reach back into her Lao community and teach the young people the culture so they can understand and learn how to respect the elders and learn what they need to do when they see someone older, but to see that. And these are the small things that we need to do. It's just the small things that our black community needs to do to be able to just reach back a little bit because everybody got something to share.
Oh, but we doing that shit.
Oh yeah,
we doing that shit. But just to say in the vein of Lynn Sun Rising, she does this shit on her own dime.
Yes,
you know what I
no
mean?
doubt.
She has camps. Thankfully, thank God she recruited me to be a professor in her camp, to help teach her kids and stuff like that. And I felt so honored to be a part of that, and just because she has it in her heart, teaching kids to speak from their chest and not in a Kevin Hart type of way. I mean, like for real, you standing up, public speaking, like you ain't gonna let nobody back you down.
Exactly.
We talking about kids that's like 8.
Yes.
Because that's important. Once you instill that in somebody early, you can't break their stride.
They don't forget, baby.
You can't break their stride,
Kids don't forget.
But it's people out here like Lynn Sun Rising, like Georgie Nakima, like Aaron Tracy Blackwood, like Lavanya, like, you know, all kinds of people out here who are in the art scene and who are making a
Shane
contribution.
Mania.
Yeah, please talk
Shane
about
Mania.
it. Ember, you know, we're talking about people who are contributing to the arts. Nelly Kate. And I mean, the list goes on. I mean, Charlotte has a lot to offer. You know, you have 3 people up here who are artists, and they with perfume. Sometimes that's gonna look like a pile of shit, but you just got to keep on pushing. You just
it
gotta keep on
never
pushing.
looks like that until like you on the other side and like, oh, that did actually turn out okay.
That's right. But you know what? And now I was getting ready to say that. And it's funny that you said that. Well, it's not funny that you said it. It's divine that you said that. But the fact that if you can take, which I do, this is my law right here. This is law to me.
Okay.
Anything bad that happens to me, I immediately tell myself, boy, God got something bigger for me. He got something better for me. He moving me in another direction. He don't want me to be here no more. I gotta go somewhere else. I gotta make something different. I gotta either take a break. I gotta move something different. But whenever it goes wrong, I have to refer back and think about what I've done, what decisions I've made. Has it contributed to where I'm at right now, or has it hurt me to where I'm at right now? So I think when you lose is a time of evaluation. That's when you evaluate yourself and you regroup and you come back different, because whatever you didn't do when you lost, then you need to be making sure that you do on the next time so you can make sure that you win. So until you look at yourself, if you ain't looking at yourself and understanding that your shortcomings are a lot of times what cause you not to get where you're trying to get to. So if you're not analyzing and trying to figure out what your shortcomings are and trying to improve them, then you find yourself in the same thing over and over for a long period of time. And that happened to me, so I can say that freely, to say I was stuck in a cycle.
And I would say sometimes rejection is protection.
Yes.
You better listen.
Yes. I've learned to run.
Listen.
I've learned to run.
Can
Thank
you hit me?
Thank you for rejecting
Can you hit me, baby, one more time with that though?
I said sometimes the rejection is protection.
Girl,
You better
you better
You
preach.
better accept that protection.
You better speak on it. I
better
hope
accept
that
that
y'all
protection
got
and know
y'all
that it's good for you.
notepad and a
Boy.
pen, y'all stylus, y'all smartphones, whatever you got.
Yes.
But yo, kid, just one more time. Trinity, the Holy Trinity, though. One more time.
Boom.
The rejection is the protection.
I had to do my hand with it.
I
Hello,
appreciate that.
It's the protection.
girl.
Lift it up.
That's
You
right.
better
Bring that
talk
thing up.
about it.
You know, and that's the thing. Like sometimes it's not uncomfortable, and it can be hurtful, or even when you put a lot of effort and energy behind trying to make something succeed, especially when you are trying
That's
to
right.
come up out of that low place,
Yes.
and
yes.
you're just
Digging,
planting
babe.
seeds.
Digging.
Yes, and you just need something to pop, and then when it's on the horizon, you feel like, oh, okay, this is about to blow up. This is gonna be it, and then it's not, and then people are like, well, what happened? Or you know, even if you don't tell anyone internally, you're like, well, damn, I thought this was gonna be it.
But you know what? I learned in that moment. I'm glad you said that. That was good. Boy, this
Alley-oop.
thing- Boy, this thing.
I'm telling you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hello.
But what you just said was so important. Because that's exactly what's going on. That's exactly where we are. That's exactly what we need to know. That's exactly what we need to hear, because I'm going to tell y'all, that low is something. But I think a lot of people don't understand that when you hit that low and you know that it really ain't nothing you really can do, like, it's got to be something else. It's got to be a higher power. It's got to be more than me. It can't be me, because I done messed it up. I done fucked it up. So, I mean, I'm still thinking the same way I was thinking when I fucked it up, and I still don't know why it's got fucked up. Like, so what am I supposed to do? You know, you don't know. But then when that other entity steps in and it grabs you and it lets you know that, hey, yeah, you've been doing it wrong. But it's okay. But our issue is we don't listen. We don't want to listen. We still think we got that shit. We still think we got it, because we don't want to accept the fact that we didn't know what the fuck we was doing. We still want to, okay, that's right, but that part ain't right. No, bro, the whole thing is right. And when you can accept defeat, then you can accept the fact that you're supposed to win, because defeat is what's supposed to push you.
But see, that's what we've been primed to accept defeat. You know, the successes.
Ain't no accepting.
what they call them, the small victories. But just even the diminutive word of the small victory. That's the problem. We get used to living in darkness, when we can live in the light. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, real talk. We have a very powerful group of people, just even talking about this right now. And not even so that we're just on this pedestal or, we're like upper echelon people. It's just that we have had dreams that would have been extinguished, but you still got that little flicker.
Yeah.
Just that little bitty wick that just got that tiny little flame on it, tiny little bit of fire, and just us being able to have this conversation about pushing through when ain't nobody pushing you.
Right.
And I say that in all honesty and actuality, from the DEUXLUXE perspective, as far as, her pursuing her dreams as far as acting. If y'all don't know, go see Jitney. She's going to be in that. That's going to be May when? May when?
It's May 9th.
May 9th through when?
At Spirit Square.
At Spirit Square.
That's what I'm talking
With Quentin
about.
Talley.
With
That's
Quentin,
I'm
see
talking
what
about.
I'm
With my
saying?
boy Quentin Talley. See, I keep hearing, I hear his name forever and ever and ever, and it is what it is. It's just lovely, and I gotta say this for Thursday night. This is how much love my partners have for me and how much love we have for each other. But Thursday night they had the Herb and Felicia Gray had their colors, and they had the after party at my event uptown at Sydney's, which is every Thursday night, called the Get Lifted. But I've been to Herb and Felicia Gray's parties all the time.
Oh.
I've been to a few of them. I ain't gonna say all the time. That's a lie. JC, stop. But I've been. Let me rewind. Because if they listen, they're gonna be like, "Boy, we ain't never seen your ass." But they have. I've met them at quite a few events, different things. We've talked mostly with her. So all I'm saying is, this time,
Wait.
this thing.
Wait, do they see you?
You
They
gonna
be
make
like,
me forget
they be like, Garcon.
Right. Rewind and
We
tape.
need a refresher on our white wine spritzer, please.
That was coffee, my friend. But yes, I met. I like I said, I haven't really met them like that. I don't know them like that, but when they see me, they're always very nice.
Yes.
Word.
This night, Felicia walks up to me. I see her coming through the crowd, and she's like, she has her hand out and she says, "Quentin told me that you're JC the poet, and why I don't know JC the poet." But do you see what I'm saying? It's my boy Quentin who's been doing everything he's been doing. But after all these years that
Yes.
I've been around Felicia Gray and Herb Gray, the fact that she's so awesome like that, to be connected to these poets and these people that we're this movement that we have, and thank God for them, because they always include us in something that they have going on. But the fact that he was able to say something about me, and I was here before him, and able to introduce me to her before I even met her, and she's coming there to look for me, to ask who I am and talk to me and shake my hand and ask me about JC. And I blew it out of his head. I was like, "I'm JC.
no.
Good night. You're awesome."
I'm gonna tell you.
I froze up. I'm like, damn, I ain't telling all the awesome shit I got going on.
You do, but
it
they
was cool.
seen it.
It was
They
cool.
they bore or bared witness to all the good shit you got going
Well,
on.
there's
Because
some
I'm
good
gonna tell
people,
you
though.
how the
There's some
universe,
good
the motherfucking universe that's larger than anything that we
It
can
matches up.
conceptualize, is that when they did have their event, and it let out the proximity of it to Sydney's
Yes.
on Thursdays. Is it Thursdays?
Where I'm at.
Okay, where you can go and check him out every Thursday night for open mic night, or when you have a featured poet or featured poets, plural. In case you didn't hear that,
It's always
I felt
true.
very poetic just then with that pause.
I like
Did
that.
you
I
see
like, but let me tell you what I really liked about it.
Don't fuck
it's
up
the
my
way
pause,
that you
though.
turned back at me and went to
okay.
pause. So go
Okay.
ahead. Continue. You look at
Okay,
I like
the
that.
pause that I had. So even though you feel like you fucked it up, you didn't, because you were able to cultivate, curate an environment that kept the party going for her guests.
Yes.
And when I tell you that Sydney's was off
was
the
lit.
check,
Yeah.
listen,
Somebody hit me up talking about, we saw you had a little wine and wine. You was whining. I was like, oh, this little carcass can still move when I
Listen,
leave.
very modest. But when I tell
Freddie over
you
there like-
that the DJ was cutting
everybody about
up,
your-
the DJ was kicking ass and taking names. And when I tell you that, I ain't never seen
DJ Best Kept, baby.
Katie Lux's posture was so erect. When I tell you she was cutting a rug, you could call her motherfucker. I don't know.
I
whatever.
literally came in here tonight and didn't know
Alan
it was
Carpus.
her. I was
No.
like, oh.
Oh, cut it out.
What's her name? Oh, this the girl from this the one from Thursday night. Oh, that my boy Freddie White. Oh, my bad. Oh, my bad, dog.
Cut it out. Live.
Cutting up. Matter of fact, she was like, Lux, can you please get up because I need to get to the dance floor. I was like,
I made a small judgment at one point because I was like, I know Freddie a little bit. You know, we ain't never been like no partners to hang out, but we always pass each other.
but you know, brother,
We
when
was
you see
always
him in
cool.
the street.
We was always cool, and I'm like, okay, she having a good time, Freddie.
No,
Freddie was over there like, hey, that's my boo though. That's my boo.
no. This is what happened. When I was checking out, he was like, so, how long y'all been married? I said 2.5 years, but we've been together 10. And he was like, See, I said, yeah, he keep me on the shelf. I don't get to get out.
But you
I,
know,
like, I ain't been out in 11 years. That's why I haven't seen you.
Bro code.
You better know it. Better know it.
God.
Well, I'm hoping you go ahead and moisturize your situation.
Can I hear that one more again? No, Katie Lux.
Go ahead and moisturize your situation.
Y'all better write that shit down too. Moisturize your
What
situation.
I'm hoping though, JC, is for those who don't know,
What you need?
go on and respect the mic.
Oh.
Talk about it,
Y'all want a
queen.
little poem, huh?
Talk about drop the girl. That's why I fucks with you. You see what I'm saying? You know what? It's like when my brain be failing me.
I don't need
Katie
y'all not to
Lux-
be crunk, and I got to do the poem. I'm the one that got to do the
You're
poem.
You're the godfather of
Yo,
lyrics.
you but listen. Go ahead
now.
on. Drop them nuggets.
the pastor of
20
pros.
piece.
Check this
Hot and
out.
fresh up out the grease on them. The hot and fresh light is on, King. Drop it.
Just like this. We're going to take it back
Okay.
to Love Jones. I need just some snaps up in there behind me, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See, because what you did to me was not right. Why you don't come home at night? I just got to take this poem back to 1995. I'm tripping. This is not all the way live. This is real live. So I'm going to give y'all this poem that you're supposed to hear. The one I've been thinking about all day. Because there's somebody out there that I hold real close and near, and I don't even know your name, don't even know your face, but I know you need to hear this poem. 2 hearts, 1 mistake. Makes heartbeats struggle to pump love through constricted arteries, so we get blood clots, love stops, heart attack. Leaving behind all the issues that were unresolved. We got these confrontations occurring like these mysteries unsolved. So now, all communication lines then went down due to your hurricane infidelity. Now I was holding on to secrets like U.S. hostages stuck in foreign countries, but see, you're still unable to accept the truth. Tongue stuck in youth playing games like kiss but don't dare tell, causing all hell to break loose. So now we in this relationship rapture, the end. Full-length emails exist somewhere. Someone just forgot to click send. So once again, your truth is undelivered. But that painted picture seems so perfect and safe. Like the place where the snake hides, right before it bites your ass. That shit only looks safe. But you better recognize that underlying thread of deceit pops up to devour the weak. So we start to paint over our wounds, but we forget the prime. So we begin to peel and chip in due time, holding on to scenery as if it's the only thing that we have that's still together, because this relationship is clearly over. So don't pacify me when you see me starving for a little bit of affection. Shit, I spit it out only to have you rinse that shit off under some running deception. Perfection lies between those words that were unspoken. Shit, your romantic tokens. They get deposited and mixed in to be removed and distributed over and over again. Purpose unknown, like babies born to broken homes that never knew love because love was never shown. So once again, your rejection carries on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And I'm broke. Shit, girl, I ain't got no tokens. I'm ready to live. Minus the unbroken silence from your late night violence from your family curses. I mean, you got fuck you flowing like rehearsed verses that I can't even undo. Cause we've been together so long now, I'll be like, fuck you too. Making love is a remedy. But sometimes I just can't help but feel like you're fucking me. To the point that I can't even come no more, so I'm leaving. I ain't gonna keep beating myself thinking I could save your ass. Save you? Change you? It's just not in you. Like 7-Up never has, never will. I mean, you gonna continue to live in your never loving, never hugging dungeon while everybody keep trying to build on your sand foundation and shit, y'all just gonna be sinking. I mean, I've kind of only learned to love the sound of you shutting the fuck up. Well, I say goodbye forever. Because I ain't going to keep looking back, feel Medusa's eyes locking into mine. You think you going to have me stuck in stone, cursed to be alone, but hell nah. I focus on the piece that's ahead because I know that chivalry's not dead. It's just not recognized by chicks like you that are fucked up in the head.
Hello.
All men are not dogs. But when the relationship is torn, sometimes the dog is the only thing that survives the damn storm. And I'm out.
You better talk about it.
Because people don't know half the time your shit fucked up because you fucking with the wrong motherfucker. They ain't got there support your ass and shit just going sideways. You like, what the fuck is wrong, man? Got there shit. I know. Remove the motherfuckers from around you that you don't need around you because they can keep you fucked up too. I just had to drop that, baby.
Listen.
My bad.
Delicious.
I just had to drop that
Wasn't
shit.
it though?
That was delicious.
Wasn't it though?
Oh my God.
Because women can flip that poem and make it like, they can turn it around on the man and shit.
Oh well, I was just getting
Yeah,
ready.
you can flip the shit.
Tag me in. Tag me in.
Bam! Oh, shit. Hold on. Oh, old school. Goddamn worm on your ass. Oh, yeah, baby.
Nah, we'll say that for next time.
Yo,
I'm gonna create a retort to that.
That's what's up, baby. That's what's up.
Retort.
Yeah, we gonna work on that for next show. Next time.
Exactly.
I'll slide through.
'Cause
I'll
you
slide
gotta
through
come
one more
back.
time. I'll
You
slide
gotta
through
come
one.
back.
You know I'm
Yo,
man, I'm gonna be y'all resident guy that just be
Listen,
sliding
you
in
put
on
you
y'all
know
ass.
what you should
You
because you be
should.
that resident shit talking, that resident damn reality checking, that resident damn live out your dreams person. You be that resident everything, you know. So we do need you to come back, and we do need
No
you.
doubt.
We do need you to impart into our listeners.
Well.
Just about never letting go of your dreams, even if you're just hanging on to that motherfucker by a thread.
A thread.
Make sure you keep on hanging on like goddamn loose ends
That's
out in
right.
this bitch.
And
you
the
know
best
what I'm saying?
thing you can ever do is check your fucking surroundings.
Hello.
If you don't check your surroundings and know what's around you, because half the things around you can be keeping you from doing what you're supposed to do, and you don't even know it. So get up on what's happening
Yo,
around you.
it's a lot of passive saboteurs out here, y'all.
Who?
You may not understand that, but it's a lot of passive saboteurs. You know, you got people who fuck with you. They fuck with you, but they only fuck with you when you fucking with them. The shit that you fucking with, though, they ain't fucking with. So I hope that you picking up what I'm putting down. But it's a lot of passive saboteurs out here. And you have to be able to understand that. You have to be able to see through that. Put on your spectacles, clean off your goggles, whatever you got to do.
That's right. That's
But you know what I'm saying? Really, you just have to be fully aware of the conditions of your life.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
And be ready to
And
keep
be
on
re-
pushing through. If it's only you, you keep on pushing, baby.
That's all
Because
right.
I
That's
promise
all
you,
we're saying.
when it's only you, guess what? You ain't got to worry about nobody fucking you over. Because
I'm
it's just you,
telling
baby.
you.
Keep it moving. You know you're going to be 100% true to you. I promise you. Let people in. You feed them by a long-handled spoon, and you let people into your spaces very, very carefully. Because you got to remember, everybody don't mean you good. Everybody don't want the best for you. They can talk up the best game in the world, but if they really don't want the best for you, then the best, they can be around you all the time and keep you from being your best. And that's not what we want. That's not what we want.
They want to touch the hem of your garment when all the hard work didn't been done. You dig what I'm saying? But where was you at when I was motherfucking taking jump shots in the gym?
I was
No.
thinking when you went when I was shooting.
Where
in
was
the
you
gym.
when I was writing the
When I
poem.
was shooting
You
in
weren't
the
with me when I
gym.
was writing the
When I
poem.
was shooting in the motherfucking gym, no. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
You wasn't
God.
with me when I was writing the poem.
Listen.
All right?
That's right.
Listen.
Even though the poem was about your ass. So you get a
right.
couple credits. I'm just saying.
I love it.
I do too.
So,
Go ahead, Katie.
real quick, just wanted to just make mention again,
unapologetically black with Lawana Mayfield,
Yes,
our
yes,
girl.
yes.
She's coming up next Wednesday.
Yes, she is.
We also have the project with Steve Rutherford.
And that's whenever he feel like doing it. And
Yo,
it could
man.
be all the time.
But come
or it
get
could
that-
be some
come
of the
get that
time. But I
knowledge.
guarantee you it's going to be a good time. And you're going to get some information.
That's what I'm talking about.
He make you check for him. That's how Steve do. Steve be like, you got to check for me, bro. I could
You know,
be
I
here.
don't know when you go-
I could. I'm like,
Oh,
wow.
no.
You know, that's
Might get a
don't
week.
know
You
when
might
I-
get 10 days. I don't know.
like a milkshake
She
at
gonna get something,
McDonald's.
baby. She gonna
You know,
get something,
the
baby.
motherfucking Shamrock Shake. He the Shamrock
You'll
Shake,
never
y'all.
know when it's gonna be there.
He the goddamn Shamrock Shake out this bitch.
You know what? I'm gonna say this.
Hold on. But that motherfucker always good, though. That shit always
the
good.
McRib is back. The McRib is back.
I got
my
so
G.
frustrated with McDonald's last summer. I said, I'm going to have me a milkshake today. I called 5 McDonald's. I said, is your machine working? I said,
Nope.
just close the door.
Just clean that bitch. It's down.
You can't never get no shake at McDonald's.
Yo, for real.
It's the machine's down.
I was like, y'all got some lazy ass employees, and then they
We
be
just clean
mad.
that. They
I'm like,
clean
with
they
that
clean that like
attitude,
5 hours before they close.
Man,
You know what,
fuck
though?
them, dog.
I bet if Chipotle had milkshakes, that machine would work.
Hold on. What if McDonald's saw this right now and they wanted to sponsor us?
Wouldn't that be super
They just
dope?
fucked that up. Damn.
No.
Sorry, McDonald's. Actually, I like your fries, and I'd like to eat some of your fries on the show.
I don't know. They be fooling vegetarians though. They be putting beef
I'd put a
broth in their
McDonald's thing
shit.
right here.
They be
McDonald's fries
brining
right here, not just-
your potatoes and beef broth though. They don't
I
want to
would eat
drop
your
them
fries.
nuggets.
I like
mean,
the way
we don't
give a fuck.
I
Go
like the
ahead.
way Brother JC going though,
I'd
because we
eat your
do need
fries on your show.
sponsorships. So
Burger King.
We do.
I
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
don't
We
really like
need
your
some
fries,
snaps
but I
on
eat
the
them on the
petrol.
show. I ain't lie. I eat them on the. If you want to give me fries before McDonald's do,
We need
I
some
will
snaps on the
eat your
petrol,
fries.
y'all, because gas is high.
Yes,
doubt.
it's high.
Gas is
wait a
high.
minute. I drove all the way to South Carolina today to save 2 cents.
No,
Man,
you
ain't
did.
that
I was hot
crazy?
about that.
We do be doing
How
that
do it
though.
be 325 and
It do be like
327
that
in Charlotte and
sometimes.
325 and oh,
It do be like that sometimes.
that
though.
hurt me. That hurt me.
And then pennies stack up.
That hurt.
Them
Yeah, that hurt.
pennies
That was.
stack up.
It wasn't a far drive, but the fact that I really thought I was going to save some money really hurt my feelings. But it's all
We be
good.
doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's our logic.
It's all good.
It's
baby.
our logic, and that's all that matters.
So should
You
we
know what I'm
toast
saying?
or something to
I
the
was
Yeah,
show?
gonna
let's
or-
toast.
say.
Let's toast. But y'all, we gotta leave on the one to grow on. No, you know what I'm
course, of
saying?
course,
You
but
know
we
where
have to
people
toast to
just
something on the show.
understand. This is coffee, by the
Hey,
way.
my good, this coffee lasts.
This is
a
coffee.
long time.
Didn't it though? This was great.
coffee
I
lasts a
believe
long
these
time.
were Colombian beans.
So,
Were these Colombian beans?
Nice. I like that. In you. You know what? I like that in you.
Thank
That-
you.
That was very creative.
Thank you.
That shows your creative side.
Appreciate you because we're creatives.
Yeah, that was a great.
Having
way
a
to-
creative show about creative things.
I think we're gonna bring in the Hispanic crowd with that. I think the Hispanic crowd is gonna catch on to.
Yo,
They're gonna be like, "Yo,
room for everybody.
you heard what she said, right?
Yo.
Them Colombian beans, baby."
Colombian beans.
Everybody.
All right, so what we
All
doing?
right.
Okay, so I'm gonna have first of all, y'all, because you know it wouldn't be a show without the tangy zip, of Lux Lisbon, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and just let y'all know that Katie Lux, my co-host, she's like a motherfucking silencer for your pistol. Okay, she gonna let you know what it is. She gonna have that maximum effect, and she gonna be covert with it. Okay, pick up what I'm putting down, y'all. Pick up what I'm putting down. Katie Lux, can you let people know when they working a job that they motherfucking hate? When they motherfucking doubting themselves? When they ain't took their spiritual bath? When they ain't getting their motherfucking fast right? Okay? When they ain't damn just taking time out for self or taking time out to praise the Lord. Whatever you want to do, let them know what time it is, dog, and just based on your own personal endeavors. Go ahead, drop it, dog.
I mean, after that elaborate, I ain't got nothing. You said everything that I would say.
I was about to run out, go grab this military uniform, come back. Change, just get the military uniform on, KD. Tell them what to do. Tell them what to do, KD.
Yo, y'all don't know. I be having regular ass conversations with Katie Lux. Then I be like, God damn, I need to reevaluate my life. It's changes I need to make.
Well, I mean, we all have that. And I think that's why
Yeah.
this topic was so poignant because, you know, a lot of times there's not going to be a cheerleader clapping you on and saying this is what you need to do. You're not going to have a roadmap. you're gonna be able to,
Yes,
you know,
ma'am.
that's gonna direct you in which way you should go. You just got to step out there on faith,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's all. That's exactly what
it
it
is. And
man.
like you said, JC, you know, our elders impart wisdom on us.
Yes.
Iron sharpens iron. Go through it, and being receptive to that. I mean, that's the key, is being able to acknowledge that, hey, I might need help, or what I'm doing isn't working.
I suck at that.
We all do. We all do.
I totally suck at that.
We all do.
Asking for help. We
But-
all suck at that.
Don't you rise above?
That's right. Always. It never fails. And what I can appreciate about that whole, exactly what you're talking about, is that in the fact that we don't ask for help and that we don't know how to move, we want to try to do it all ourselves, because we put out this persona of, we got it under control, we don't need nothing, everything good. But I think that's the problem with a lot of black everything. I think that's a lot with the problem. Black everything is that we try it, we don't want anybody to know that we're failing, and then we disappear.
Yep.
Because we don't have the humility to be able to say, let me ask somebody for help. Let me talk to somebody and see if they know something I don't know. And that goes back to something my mother told me a long time ago. And it was, I remember it at 1996.
This is some nuggets.
1996.
I feel like this is
1996.
behind fresh
I'll
light
never
on.
forget this. My mother came to see me. I was in Shelby, but she came to see me, and she was just like, son, everybody around you loves you. Everybody around you knows you the shit. Everybody around you is looking for you to do your next move. She said, I need you to find somebody like that in your life. I need you to be looking at somebody getting ready for your next move. I need you to follow somebody else and think about what somebody else is doing more than what you got going on, because if you allow everybody to drain from you, they'll all move forward and you'll still be left behind because you've been feeding everyone and not feeding yourself. And if you don't feed yourself something and you don't eat something, there's no way you can continue to live. And you can't let everybody eat off of you
That's the truth.
and go on and be great and live, and you ain't eating off of nobody. So by all means, remember, take care of self first.
Yeah.
Self is number one.
What is it? Affix your own oxygen mask before you help other people.
Okay.
Ain't that important,
Okay.
though?
Don't
You
let
know
that.
what I'm
Don't let that
saying?
gas in.
Don't fuck
Don't
around
let that little bit of
and
gas
die.
in. You better get your. You better.
Don't fuck around and die.
Fix your shit. Then help the next man.
You know what I'm saying?
Love that visual.
Yo, I do.
thank
But I just want to say, first of all, thank y'all for tuning in.
Yes.
Thank y'all for
Most
just
definitely,
supporting
most
us. And I also just want to thank my co-host, Katie Lux, for pursuing her dreams, for standing strong and steadfast in what she's doing, and for always imparting knowledge and nuggets about what she's doing into somebody else, because each one got to teach one. Brother JC, I want to tell you something, and I'm just going to bring this on to the fore. And that is that Brother JC hosted a poetry literary festival that I came to 13 years ago. I had no idea that he was the host, of course, back then. But just speaking to him in recent years, I found out that that's what he did. And I was like, yo, it was because of you I even came here. I came to one literary festival and was like, Charlotte is the place I need to be because it's so black. It's like hashtag so black Charlotte, Yes. And then on top of that, I was like, the art scene is like amazing. And I was so glad that I met him and all the things that he's doing about just perpetuating arts, perpetuating creative juices, something that's dying, and I don't think that people understand the acumen, the intellectual dexterity that it goes into being able to create a poem, to be creative. So I just want our listeners to understand that. And also, if that's in you, we want to nurture that, and we want to just let you know to push through.
Tap in.
Push through when ain't nobody pushing you.
Tap
You know,
in, baby.
we don't want these things to die. We ain't no motherfucking relics.
into your
We
self-motivation.
ain't no dinosaurs. You know,
Your
we gonna
own
keep these
cheerleader.
arts alive.
Motivate
you know,
yourself.
and that's with my co-host Katie Lux, who is also gonna be in Jidney. Please check her out next month
Yes.
at Spears Square.
Yep.
Ow!
We got Danae on Blanc coming up too.
Danae on Blanc. When is that gonna be, Katie
I
Lux?
can't tell you.
Okay, cool.
But
It's a
just know you
surprise.
can't-
But you gonna hear about it though. You gonna hear about it though.
Be there. If
You know what I'm
ain't
saying?
There, then she didn't tell you. So it's okay. Don't worry about it. We're going to
Hello.
be there.
Hello.
Be there.
Tell us where you at, and we gonna be there.
gonna
That's
be
how it
there.
go down.
That's
We love
I
you.
mean, because I need me a tables this year.
I got you.
Tables. You see a tables, how that
y'all
shit
got-
was all kinds of
Oh, you got
grammatically
events
incorrect.
going on there where you get to have a table, like you can.
Yo, man, you should see her shit be lit.
What the heck?
First of all, let me just
Wait a
tell
minute.
you.
Dude, I don't even know who I'm sitting beside.
Let me
Oh
know. You
my
don't.
God.
You
Freddie,
don't.
You
Listen.
ain't tell me, Doc. What you already
Listen,
know. I know it's
listen.
you. I
When
know.
Crystal was coming to a $10 an hour job, Katie Lux coming to a $10 an hour job, she gonna be Dominique Devereaux on that bitch. Goddamn Meek stole on your motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking
Bitches
Manolo
ain't gonna be
Blahnik.
here long. I ain't
Okay.
gonna be here long.
Yo,
I'm just
man,
coming
I'm
through.
telling you.
I'm just
And
coming
really,
through.
really, this is
Holla.
this is an inherent gift. This is an inherent gift.
You right.
Also, for you to be able to just come up with knowledge, words off the top of the dome. You know what I'm saying, my G? I mean, people be taking that shit for granted. You know what I'm saying? But the ability to be able to just come up with words every single day off the top of the dome and at the drop of a dime is a beautiful skill. And I'm so very fortunate that I know you. I'm a writer, y'all. If y'all don't know that, if y'all need some editing, writing, whatever y'all need to do, just holler at me, because
I'm
that's
gonna need
what
you
I
for
do.
my book, baby. I'm gonna need some
Well, I
editing on
got
this
you.
book.
I got
Word
you.
up.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. I just finished up a book maybe about, you know what I'm saying, a couple
Word.
months
That's
ago.
all
So
I
let
need.
me
I
know
just
what's
need you to
up.
edit this book, baby.
let
That's
me
all.
know
We can go
what's
chapter.
up.
We can go chapter for chapter and make it
Yeah.
easy.
Those
We
connections.
can do
Let me know
chapter to
what's
chapter.
up. Let me know
That's
what's up,
easy for
though.
me.
But
Steve gonna be the first one to buy my book.
look, if you gonna
promise
get
you.
up in my brain, if you gonna get up in my brain, you might as well take your shoes off. Because I was
You
gonna say
already
something
know.
about our brother Steve Rutherford, you know, who has allowed this platform for African Americans
No
to
doubt.
express interest, experiences, you know, knowledge, everything to our listeners out there. We want to thank him for that. Square Media Network. That is SQAIR Media Network. Don't get it fucked up and type in
Don't do
SQUARE. No, we need you to pay attention. Y'all better listen and y'all better pay a motherfucking attention.
Not a motherfucking. Damn. All right, so I just want to speak this on the
Go
show
ahead,
real quick
bro.
before we
Go
get
ahead.
up out of here. So, as y'all see us right now, we chilling. We looking at
We
Steve
are.
over there.
Drinking
Behind
our
us-
coffee.
but behind us is this curtain. I give it a year and 8 months. It's gonna be Uptown Charlotte behind us.
Listen.
Uptown Charlotte gonna be behind us. There's gonna be some buildings behind us in
I feel
Charlotte.
that. I feel
In
that.
less than 2 years, because like Steve don't start stuff that he don't start stuff and don't finish. Like this ain't gonna be gone next week. It's
feel that.
gonna be happening. So
feel that.
I say 1 year, 8 months. We'll have some Uptown. We're gonna have some visuals for y'all, man. Don't worry about this curtain right now. We just having a good time. We gotta build this thing. What you building? Nothing. Quit tripping then. Don't act like how we building, how we doing our thing. This is
But
how we doing our
we-
thing. You better be building something too.
But we
then.
pushing you when
Make
you
some
ain't.
goals, baby.
We
Set some
pushing you to
goals.
push through. We pushing you to push through.
Pushing you to push through all by yourself. You make it happen, baby. You
'cause
make
I'm
it happen.
telling you, don't be paying attention to who ain't supporting you, who ain't liking your posts, who ain't liking your page, who ain't coming out to your events, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know your shit is the shit, so we need for you to pump your shit. Push your shit.
Be your own cheerleader.
It be your own cheerleader,
That's
your
right.
advocate, your best friend, your patron,
Think about it,
your
think about it,
advocate,
think about it.
whatever it is, be
Think
that
about
for
it.
yourself
Think
because
about
it
it.
beats the alternative number one. And because you only get one go at this life, it's like taking a fucking bubble test, a Scantron test with a fucking ink pen. You better make sure all them answers is right or you fucked up in the game.
Dang! She went hard on your ass. I didn't know you was Crip, cuz. That blood, there better be no blood, there bloods up in this building. Better be no blood. Hey, any bloods on the backside? It's cripping up in here, baby. We cripping.
And,
But I gotta say something too.
go
Hold
ahead.
on one second, baby. Let me just say this
ahead.
with the fact that please understand. You can be your own enemy. Yes. Don't allow yourself to be your own enemy, bro. Sister. Make sure that you open yourself up and know that, like, we depend on people, but think about when somebody do something for you and you have like a certain gratitude that they did something for you, but then think about how you feel when you did it your fucking self. And when you did it yourself and when you push for you, like, think about the first time somebody out there probably caught the bus for the first time and it went good. And you're like, oh shit, I made it to my job. Less than time I'd have drove.
Yes.
But the point is that you did it yourself. You're making moves. You're taking steps. Move forward. Every move should be a move forward. Never move backwards. Move forward. Because if you ain't moving forward, baby, you ain't moving. And everybody looking at you, and who cares what they think? But the point is what they think, 9 times out of 10 is what they see. And if that's what they see, it's probably what it is. And you don't want to get caught up in what another motherfucker see about your ass when it ain't going right. Stay on top, baby. That's what it's all about.
You better
stay on
cut
top.
it out.
You ain't gotta have the world. You ain't
It
gotta have the
out.
world. You ain't gotta
Cut
be rich.
it
You ain't gotta have
out.
all that shit. I promise you. Happiness is where you make it. Because if your happiness is what everybody see about you, and all they're doing is watching you and go, oh, he's so happy, then you're probably not happy. But when happiness is in you, and it's just what you're doing, then you're happy, baby. That's what it's all about. Boom.
Yep.
Woo, that was a jewel.
I know.
Shoot. Damn.
I know, right?
It must be this coffee.
I know. Goddamn Colombian beans out this
Colombian beans,
bitch.
boy.
Okay,
I ain't lying.
good to the
I think
last
they- I
drop.
think
Let me
they-
get it.
I
Let me
think
get
they've been on the opiate box or something, boy. Y'all done slipped me a Mickey up in here.
Oh, no. Turn my back and then you just slip me a Mickey.
Oh, look at this. Oh, this is. Oh, what? No, it's all good, baby. I know y'all good, baby. This is what we do. I appreciate y'all having me on the
Yes,
show
no,
tonight.
thank
You
you
guys
so
have been
much.
awesome.
Yes.
Y'all are like
Thank you.
this
Of
is a
course.
dope show. So I want y'all to keep doing what you do. All right.
Yo,
Thank you
we
so
much. Don't worry about
appreciate
me.
you.
Keep doing
We
what you
appreciate you falling through.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And just
Anytime.
blessing us with your presence. You know, I'm so eternally grateful for the opportunity that we have with Steve Rutherford, Square Media Network,
Yes.
with my beautiful co-host, Katie Lux, who'll be dropping them bombs on your moms every motherfucking time we talk. And I just want to thank y'all all for that. Katie Lux, I know you got some parting words of wisdom to. And
How about we just tell where they can find us at?
oh, okay, let's do
All
that.
right, you can
then.
catch me
Wait, hold on.
on.
Hold
You
on,
can catch me on
let me
Instagram,
get in
baby.
sync with you.
My
Let me
Instagram
get in sync.
is at FLYY_poet
There we
on
go.
Instagram.
There you go.
You just follow my Touch One Productions page. That's TOUCHONE Productions. All right, just follow that page, man. You can find out everything I got going on in Charlotte. Now, who else wants to talk about what they got going on?
Katie Lux, I'm gonna let you do the honors and shit, cause I think that you a Queen Janelle Monáe style, boo.
I mean, you know, the people know where to find me. They know where to find me. It's Crystal Gardner, actress on IG, as well as Decorla Creme on IG. And then, of course, the DEUXLUXE podcast show. Holla at a girl.
I
Hello.
know Freddie over there like, God damn, she pumping you up. I mean, what's going on
Yo,
with
she
y'all?
got
I mean,
several pages. There's several touch points for that. You can find me at _Lux, LUXE_Lisbon, LISBON. You can also find me at the DEUXLUXE Podcast Show. You can also find us on Facebook at the DEUXLUXE Podcast Show. Holla at players when you see them in the street. This is one to grow on, lessons to be learned, but just always
Better know.
make sure that you believe in yourself and push through when ain't nobody pushing you. And we out.
Fuck that job.